Your only focus should be on getting better at what you're doing. Focus on what you're doing, get better at what you're doing. Everything else is a complete waste of time.
Hello there everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Michalis Fotis and I scale real estate videography, photography companies past 10k per month. So let's get into the day. Okay then everyone, so it's going to be a bit of a brief kind of day in the life. It's mainly going to be outreach and then me talking to you about a few things. So first on the agenda is to go onto my laptop, open that up and send some outreach. Hi there Andrew, so I'm making this video as an introduction to me, the company, as well as the offer that we're trying to put forward to today. So I'm not going to say the offer again, that's outlined in the email. Feel free to go back over that and have a read and see what it's all about. So essentially, in this video I can see that you've got 16.4 thousand followers, right? Which is quite a substantial amount, but it's not enough to get to the point where we want to attract high ticket clients, okay? So we're not a personal branding agency or nothing like that. Don't get us confused with that kind of work. What we're trying to do is help you attract high ticket clients, specifically everything over $2,000 per shoot. That's what we specialize in, that's what we want to get you there, right? So how are we going to do that? It's all about building trust, and there's two reasons why we want to build trust. The first one is that people will go to you over anyone else because you're seen as the expert in your industry. The second is that allows you to charge higher prices because you have more demand. So I can see here you've got loads and loads of finished results, polished edits, all that kind of stuff, which is great. That's what potential clients are definitely looking for. However, where I do think you're lacking is kind of the personal touch, the personal feel. That's why people are going to trust you, because you're showing your personal side and how you operate, right? So that's really important. That's what we need to get across if you want to be able to build more trust and sign higher ticket clients. So we need to show you interacting with your clients. Do you make them laugh? Are you funny? Are you easy to get along with? Do you take direction well and you know exactly what the brand, the image and what they're trying to go for? The communication side of things, are you easy to give a text, an email or have a phone call with? Do people really enjoy talking to you? All of these things is stuff that really builds trust because people get to see the back end side of things, not just I make some really nice photos, which is great, but they want to see what it's like to work with you before they work with you, if that makes sense. So if you want to go over a little bit more about this and you want to explore it further, send me a thumbs up or yes, I'm interested, or send me more info, something like that, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and we'll talk about strategy, what type of clients we're looking to sign, when we're looking to sign them, and what location they're looking to be in as well. Send me all that information, or send me a thumbs up, send me more info, something like that, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But until then, I wish you all the best and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Right, okay then, so photographers and videographers of real estate. If there's one thing that I want to talk to you about in this section of the video, it's building trust, because I see so many photographers, videographers of real estate out there with some absolutely amazing work, right? Some really nice polished, finished edits of houses, landscapes, etc, etc. When it comes to having a connection with your audience, that's where you're kind of falling short and why you're not signing high ticket clients specifically, because you take some really nice, really amazing photos, stuff I couldn't replicate. And that's why I scale photography, videography businesses, and not why and that's why I'm not the photographer or the videographer, right? So your work really is amazing and it's great that you showcase that. You absolutely should be doing that, and that is a great way to attract clients. But if we're looking to attract high ticket clients, they choose you personally. So by building trust, that allows people to see what it's like to work with you before working with you. And that's exactly the transformation. That's what they want to see. They don't want to see someone who can just do some really nice cool shots but is an absolute nightmare to work with. Show you in action, show you talking to your potential clients. Are you funny? Do you get along well with them? Do you make them laugh? All of these ideas, right, is really, really important. So don't forget that when you're trying to build trust. It doesn't always mean talking to the camera and, you know, saying this is why you should trust me, right? There's alternative ways to show that. One is through client results. One is through actual being out there and talking to your clients. One through visual email communication or phone calls, texting them, Instagram DMs, anything like that. But the other thing is showing them you know how to compose things and you know how to get that house sold, not just take a fancy photo of it, right? Because these people that are purchasing your services, they're not there because they want a really nice fancy photo of their house. They're there because they want it sold. So do you know how to compose stuff in a way that's compelling to sell to high ticket clients, right? So turn your photography, videography business from I take nice photos to I help you sell your home above X amount of dollars or in X amount of days, that kind of idea, right? So rather than having just a nice aesthetic outcome, you give them a monetary outcome, and that's going to be the reason to choose you. As well as when you have trust, passion, and you're actually good at what you do, those are all things that are going to come into play when it comes to signing high ticket clients and making sure that people actually want to work with you. Because it's an absolute nightmare if you've got loads of great results, but you don't know how to communicate with your clients effectively. Everything's really clunky. Every time you work with someone, something doesn't just feel right, if you know what I mean. So make sure your communication is on point, you know exactly what you're doing, and you know how to build trust online. Now, it doesn't mean posting something every single day about, you know, your knowledge or working with clients. It means that if you're trying to run ads, or if you're trying to push yourself for a certain project, that's when you need to come in and build trust. So you don't even necessarily have to have trust splattered all over your page, but if you're trying to go for one particular thing at one particular time, such as you're trying to sign 5 more clients this month, then this month only you need to focus on building that trust, because that's what's going to sign those high ticket clients. Now, once you learn that this works, you'll want to continue it and keep doing it over and over again, but start small, start building the trust now, and over time it will compound, and the more you do it, the more you realize that actually people don't just want polished results. In fact, they often want to see what it's like to work with you long before they do, and you're the reason why they're going to work with your company specifically. Because trust me, people choose you and then they choose your style of photography, videography. It's not the other way around. Some people's photography, videography may be visually appealing, but if you're unworkable with someone who doesn't know what the outcome is and what they want to achieve with the shoot, then they won't choose you. So they'll choose you first, and then they choose your photography, videography style. It's much better to be a much better person to work with and easy to communicate with and understand the project assignment, and then make someone like your photography style, rather than having someone like your photography style but you don't know how to work with anyone. The best case scenario is that you have both, obviously, but trust me, it's easier to sign clients if you are better at communicating your message and making sure you're building trust around yourself. So what I'm going to do now is a little bit of lead sourcing. I just finished doing all of the outreach by sending those Loom videos over email on Outlook. So now what I'm going to do is go onto Instagram and see what kind of real estate photographers, videographers are out there, see what people I can reach out to try and get them interested in the services and achieve the transformation that we're looking for them to achieve. And I just wanted to finish on the note of photographers, videographers. If you're sat there thinking, why can I gain no clients, or, you know, what's going wrong? The first place to start is reaching out. So if you're sat there struggling and you're thinking, well, I'm trying to post on Instagram or TikTok, YouTube, and nothing's working. If you go out to people, so you literally walk into companies' doors, or maybe you send them an email, a Loom video maybe, you know, something like that, and you show an active interest and you participate, you try and push yourself out there, that's how you get noticed, right? And then when one person tries you, you can leverage that testimonial, you can use it online, you can say, look what I did for so-and-so, and look how we achieved said and said result. But if you're just sat there and you're thinking, well, I can't do this, or, you know, there's nothing working for me at this particular moment, then drop the feeling of being embarrassed. If you're sat there and thinking, well, my friends, my family, they're going to judge me for going in and get rejected, or they're going to judge me for trying to post online, if that's your method and that's what you know is going to work for you. But if that isn't working for you, go out there, do the brave things, be bold, right? There's just so many people out there, they're not going to do the bold things. They're just too worried about what people are going to think, or what about if it all goes wrong. What about if it works? What about if you walk into a company and they say yes and you sign a $2,000 deal there and then? You know? So just think, if you're sat there and you're struggling to book clients and you're trying to watch this day in the life to see how I scale photography, videography businesses, if you want me to make a video on exactly the systems that we use and how we're going to do it, then drop a yes, send me that video, or make that video down below in the comments, and I'll try my best to make that for you. But when it comes to not being able to sign clients and people are just there like, well, why, if I haven't, if I've tried everything and it's not working? Be bold, go out there and do things, right? Implementing systems and stuff helps you to scale and helps you to get better. But if you're a beginner sat there and you're thinking, yeah, but nothing's working, or, I can't gain a certain client from doing things, or maybe you've even tried running ads before. Maybe you've tried to do the whole Facebook ads thing and now you've decided Facebook ads just don't work point blank. That is not true, right? It's because the way you're doing it, the strategy you have is not true. So if you want to go into a more in-depth strategy, drop me a DM on Instagram, and we'll talk about strategies, what types of clients, all that kind of stuff. But the whole thing is, you have to be out there, you have to have had some results and trying to gain some results first before you can then leverage that online. Okay, so I think that's where very many people are going wrong. Be bold, go out there, and then think about systems, then think about scaling and trying to grow your company. Don't just go straight to a company and say, I'm going to chuck all my money at you and you're going to run ads and that's going to be it, and hopefully we'll sign some clients. You need them to scale, you don't need them to get started. So if you're thinking of how to spend your first $1,000 and that's the last $1,000 you have to make this business work, do not spend it on ads. Although I'm someone running ads, I'm going to tell you now, don't run ads. Because if you have the wrong strategy behind it and you don't know what's working for you, don't do it. It'll be the biggest waste of your money. Go out there, earn some money first, and then be kind of secure in that, and then make sure you can come to a company that knows what they're doing, knows how to run ads. But if you're sat there and you're trying to run ads by yourself, do not do it, because it won't work. Your strategy won't be there. You won't have an omnipresent content strategy, and it just won't go very well. So bear that in mind. But that was kind of the day in the life. I know it's been super short. It's literally been outreach, exercise, and now lead sourcing, but I'm not going to show you lead sourcing because that is just me on my laptop looking up profiles and emails and trying to download them, etc. But yeah, until the next video, I hope you all, do well in your business, and I hope you're trying to grow your photography, videography business to the most you can. Be bold, go out there, do something, and do not spend your first $1,000 on ads yourself. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to take it one step at a time.